Boston sports in pretty good shape right now when it comes to leadership, and all of the coaches have their own unique style. Bruce Cassidy fell one game short of having his name on the Stanley Cup, but along the way, he certainly earned the trust of Bruins fans who know the right guys calling the shots. Butch Stearns went one-on-one with Butch Cassidy.
Boston sports coaches, 4 different men, 4 different styles. Alex Cora, always looking on the bright side.
That's why I stay positive, because I know we can be a lot better offensively.
Brad Stevens, normally reflective and honest.
The teams that were ahead of us at the end of the year deserved to be. They were better than us.
Bill Belichick, his own man.
Would not say that I'm Mona Lisa Vito of the football world.
And then there's Bruce Cassidy. Don't you get the feeling that if you had his job, you would act the same way?
Julian Edelman chugging a beer was awesome.
Proud of the guys. Especially the way we played today.
What was being said was you missed an effing call is what was being said on the bench. I just want my name in the damn cup. That's what I want.
The lasting memory we have right now of Cassidy and his team is Game 7. One game to win the cup at home. Instead, the other guys celebrating in your town. How do you get past something like that?
I don't know how you get past it, to be honest with you. Still trying to figure that out. But listen, I got a wife and kids at home, so I can't let it bother me every day. You go to work, you just listen. You think about October a little bit. Okay, how do we get going next year? How do we get ourselves back there? And I think that's the best way you do it. I think you try to put it in the back of your mind, leave it there, bring it out when you need it. But right now, we're focused on being ready to go in October, because I think that'll be a big challenge. When you go this far and you don't win, mentally, it can be tough starting the next year.
What did you learn from this whole experience, Bruce?
Well, I think you're always going to wonder, what could we have done better in the Game 7? So that's one thing. The other thing I've learned is the amount of patience I think it takes to get this far. You know, there's a lot of long nights. There's a lot of sticking with the program. So understanding that part of it. I guess to sum it up, don't get too high, don't get too low. I think in the playoffs, the next game is always the most important thing. So I learned a lot about that, the farthest I've ever been. So that'll help me going forward.
Why was your team so close? Because in my opinion, they played for each other. They played for you and your staff. They played for the city. That's a reflection on you and your staff. But do you agree with that? And why was your team so close?
Well, I do agree. They did all the things you said. They played for one another. They did play for us. We appreciate that. They played for the organization. They love the fan support. I think it's just who they are. It's our group. We tried to identify good people in there, obviously good players as well, but I think you go nowhere without good people. We had that. We had great leadership. I think the young guys enjoyed coming to the rink every day, knowing that they get to learn from the Bergerons, the Charas. So that's probably it in a nutshell.
But as a coach and a staff, you guys have to take some credit for that, because it's a fickle thing. Not every team has it. Talk to Brad Stevens this year. He had all the talent in the world, but really didn't have that, which you guys had.
Yeah, well, I think we did our job in nurturing that talent and allowing the leadership in the room to take control of the room. I think that's one thing that we wanted to have happen. I think it functions better. Players tend to hold themselves accountable better when it's a guy beside them in the room challenging them. Certainly we have to do our part there, but that's what I think made us successful. And again, I've always credited the leadership of this team, and I'll continue to do that.
I don't think enough can be said about Zdeno Chara. Multiple fractures, that moment with his ovation.
He's a warrior, obviously, high, pain threshold. He's 42 years old. He's adjusted to how the game's changed over the years. Intelligent hockey guy, intelligent man in the room, how to get players to perform, to pick them up. So, listen, there's a lot of different adjectives you can use. But at the end of the day, what I love, Z, is just a terrific person.
Well, speaking for all Boston sports fans, great run.
Right,
seriously, it was a lot of fun.
It.
All right, Bruce.
You know, Bruce got a lot of credit for how he evolved as a coach and how he grew as a coach. He's going to need to continue to grow, because this is a challenge that's among the most difficult for any coach in any sport to get that team anywhere near where they were this year.
After losing in the final game, yeah. Look, he was the right man for the job when he took over for Claude Julien 3 years ago. They were out in the first round first year, second round second year, and now one game away from the Cup. But the leadership transition is going to be interesting, because we all believe those guys are on the back nine, Chara, Bergeron, Marchand, and such, and it's Charlie McAvoy's team. But he and Don Sweeney are going forward. You're right. It's going to be a huge challenge. You wonder when the bloom's going to come off the rose for him,
Does it come when one of his decisions would seem to be always the right decision this year comes back to bite him? Because it's going to happen in a big spot at some point, don't you think?
Yeah, I think he's confident enough in his ability and his coaching staff, and he's one of those guys that gets the best out of the people around him. So we'll see.
All right, good stuff.